Hey, what's going on, you guys? First, I want to do a quick update for anyone who follows me on Twitter. I was doing a lot today, and well, I was unable to get back home in enough time to actually edit any videos. I do have two recorded, and of course, there's one that's in the archive right now. That's kind of just been sitting there. I actually have to look for it because I don't even know where it is. Um, but anyway, I kind of just wanted to um, bring up something. We don't have to do an immediate discussion, but I just wanted to bring something up because something was brought to my attention when I went into Snapchat. Like I was snapping a bunch of friends or whatever. If you're not following me on Snapchat, it's at Midforest. Do they use handles? I don't think they use handles, but it's Midforest for anybody who wants to know. Um, so anyway, uh, you know how they have the things like you swipe to the left. Yeah, you swipe to the left, and then they have those highlights and the news and articles and stuff. And there was this one from this writer who writes for the New York Times. Is it New York Times? I believe it's New York Times. And it was about rap music and how it said rap is becoming dangerous again or something. It said. Um, and I read a little bit through it. I kind of skimmed a little bit through it just to kind of see what they were talking about rappers like Kodak Black and um was it I forgot a lot of the I forgot a lot of the rappers, but rappers like him, I think his name is 6ix9ine, or that's how you say it. I don't know if it's 6ix9ine or 69. But it's saying like a lot of these guys have gotten into a lot of trouble, and they kind of promote that in their songs and all of that stuff. They talk about all the struggles that they had and stuff, and then they equate it to, oh, the rap that Drake brings out, pretty much saying that like it was easier to listen to, and it wasn't as like a bad influence as the rap that we are getting like now. That's kind of more into into the drugs and the crime and all that stuff, again, like it kind of was in the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, at that point in time, it was that's what you talked about. Why? Because that's a lot of them were going through that, and that's how they told their stories through the music. The problem that I had with this article is that it was almost like he was, or the writer, I didn't really check to see if it was a man or a woman. I believe it was a man. But it seemed like the writer was kind of going in a little bit too much on this generation of rappers. Granted, I go in on them a lot, and that's just because a lot of them are like a lot of them are like they're like, I wouldn't say struggle rappers, but they are like mumble rappers, and I don't like mumble rap. I don't like it when they're not very clear as to what they're saying, and you can't understand a word that's coming out of their mouths. I mean, it's kind of irritating. Um, but you know, I have listened to a few of their songs, and I've kind of looked at the lyrics, and I do see I do see some stories with a few of them kind of talking about the things that they've been through and kind of where they want to go, and some of them talk a little bit too much about the drugs and the sex and everything. Yeah, fine, but it's their expression. Art is about expression. It's not about fitting into the norm. It's not about fitting into something. Everybody is telling their story, and I'm glad that we're back to telling a story in rap, because it's important, because that was the original um, purpose of hip hop. Today more sing rappers with a lot of auto tune. That's true. That's true too. Hello, hello. Yeah, that is true. Um, but The fact that this guy is going in on the rappers that actually kind of tell stories in their rap, in their verses, it's just like, why? Because everybody has to be like a Drake or like a, no, that literally what hip hop was based around was, you know down on your luck in the streets, trying to make it, and the struggle of it all. And now we have them doing that again, and it's a problem. I didn't like that, and Snapchat tried it, trying to be somebody's BuzzFeed or something. But I mean, I don't know. It kind of bothered me just because. And then Drake is a pop star. True. I've always thought that Drake wasn't like really a rapper, like he raps, but to me, he's never really been rapper material. Like he hasn't really been through much of anything. Like he was pretty much a child star. Okay, he was on Degrassi. You guys remember that? And he was also in a couple of other things, I believe. And and from there, he just kind of decided that he wanted to be a rapper. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. This is people stay making black culture so monolithic that when it's obvious that one unproblematic rapper's work is different from problematic rapper's work, even under the same oh, is different from a problematic rapper's work. Under the same themes can't be different. Mm-hmm. No, I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah, no, like they always do that though. You could tell that this person was white, and I'm just gonna say, like Kendrick versus Kodak Black. True, true. But you could tell that this person was, no offense, white, because the way that they kind of alienated the other rappers, who are doing all this stuff is like, yeah, no, you can tell. You can always tell because they always look at rap as something that, well, again, they acted like they took control of it because they had rappers like Macklemore and at the time when Kesha was doing the rapping, and then a couple of other people, and then they had Drake and all these other people who kind of romanticized what rap was actually supposed to really be about. If you do your history, I mean, rap was something that people in the hood did to express themselves, and a lot of people who did poetry and stuff, and talked about their issues, talked about their struggles and everything. That's how they express it, and then they started putting it to music, and there goes hip hop. I mean, there's a lot like, and if you don't really do your research on this sort of thing, you look like a complete fool. You honestly look like a fool, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know who allowed this, but oh, he's supposed to be some big music critic for the New York Times. Well, I can't really tell. Again, as much as I say, about these mumble rappers, I do pay attention to lyrics in their song. Like I look them up sometimes just to see what's going on with some of the tracks that they put out, especially um, especially some of the lesser known rappers, and they really, they really do look foolish. But point is, they don't care. They don't write these articles for black people at all. It's true. They really don't. They're just continuing to push the agenda, the black people are dangerous agenda. Once again, um, speaking of white people, speaking of pushing agendas, did anybody see that? I believe I reposted like Instagram. I retweeted this video of this woman who's an Uber driver, and you just see her kind of going on. She's a black woman, and she's going off and stuff about the passengers, saying little things about whatever she's doing, whatever, and then you just kind of see her, you kind of attacking them, right? Okay, So I posted, I retweeted, I quoted it, and I wrote that there has to be more to the story. Oftentimes, we see a lot of people putting black people and especially black women into this case of the angry black person, the angry black woman. And this to me seems like something like that. Like you could tell that she was amped up about something, and they probably, I don't know, said something to her to maybe set her off. It doesn't make it necessarily correct, but with the way that things seem to be going, the way that the atmosphere was, I'm giving that situation, I'm giving it a side eye because it didn't really make a lot of sense to me that she was just going off, going off, going off, going off. Um, Without them having to have also said something. So let me know what you think about that as well, because I was wondering, because like whoever saw it on Twitter, a couple of people liked it. The white woman filmed only when the black woman snatched. Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of times it happens. Oh, let's get this girl, this crazy black woman on camera, and then report her to Uber and put it on social media so everybody can see that all black women are always angry. Let's stop that. Like there's always pushing agendas and stereotypes, and this is how like this is how it continues with the whole white supremacy thing and everything that has to do with it. Is like people think that everybody is like that, and no, they're not. And even so, I feel like there's so much more to that story than just her mouthing off. I feel like they probably did something to set her off, and that's, I mean, it's really sad that we have to, context is always missing. It's true. That is always the issue, is the context. You can have a video, and if you can shoot it. Oh god, why is this thing not working? Oh jeez. My phone is gonna die because for some reason my charger is not working. And the problem that I'm having right now is that, um, like when you're recording, when you're filming something, you can always switch up the narrative by only taking certain parts, and put those parts out there for people to see, and then people are going to say it ended up not happening. And then I was gonna do another video, and I forgot that I actually recorded a video that I could have been editing, but then it got too late, and I'm honestly really tired. There was a lot going on today, and I also started this new regimen, this crazy hit training that I've been doing, and it's like killing my body. I started on Tuesday, and I did the second session to Sunday, and I'm gonna do it every other day, so it's like 3 times a week. Um, but I'm trying to get my body into good shape so that I can get up here and do what I gotta do. Um, I'm not trying to be here too long, maybe about another 10 minutes or so. But yeah, so those are a couple of things that were bothering me the last couple of days. Um, what else is going on? Oh, di- actually, no. You know what? I don't know if there's anything going on in K-pop news right now because I really haven't been checking around. Um, my usual sources for K-pop news is kind of trash now. I used to go to all K-pop, but now I don't because it's kind of a mess. And like sometimes I get it from Gigi because she knows what's going on usually a lot more than I do. And also I also get it from Daily Dose, but she hasn't been around either lately. So I'm like kind of mm. Afro Mix is still on kind of like a hiatus. I don't know if it's like work or if it's the shiny thing. Um, but she hasn't come back. I think she's coming back soon. But she did post something on her Twitter saying that she was kind of still on a hiatus. and that she'll be back to her usual schedule. Um, but yeah, I don't know about K-pop news. I do know that um, I did do a reaction for All Night, the video. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow morning. I put that in my thing. I'm gonna work on that tomorrow morning. Like I have an alarm and a reminder for it, so I don't forget. It's a mess. Uh, what else? Sorry guys, I have to keep on checking my things, make sure this thing is not dying. Um, so okay, so let me see. So next week I'm gonna do the Throwback Thursday video, and I put a poll up online on Twitter, and most people voted for the '90s female vocal battle. Now, for that, I was thinking about how I would go about doing that because obviously people they post vocal battles and stuff all the time, and I was kind of wondering how I should do mine that's going to be unique to me. Um, and I was thinking maybe like, well, first of all, I know I have to choose artists that are kind of similar in style and kind of the style that they tackle. Like I can't put a Mariah Carey to a Brandy. Like I can't do that because the two of them are kind of not opposites, but they're not that similar to where I can easily to where I can compare them fairly. It will kind of be skewed to one side. So I would have to choose another singer in that era that was more like a Brandy or more like a Mariah, which is kind of difficult because yeah, they all most of them did R&B music, but each of them kind of had their own unique sound in a way, and something that really drew you to them. So it's gonna be kind of challenging. So that's the reason why I couldn't post it today because I was still really thinking about it. So maybe like three artists or maybe two to three artists, and then rank them based on my own opinion and also based on some facts. Um, some real like vocal strengths and weaknesses, and then I'll weigh that. So I mean, I'm thinking about how I'm gonna set it up. I really want to do some things that are more geared towards what I actually do in my everyday life on the channel rather than just do reaction videos because I don't know about you guys, but I it gets kind of old. Why is this thing doing this? That's why I can't be on here that long because I gotta give this thing a chance to charge. This thing is so irritating. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So definitely expect that next week. I'm holding myself to this because I know me. I know me, and I know how things happen around me. I'm gonna have to really buck down and do that. Um, NCTU, back to K-pop news. I just saw the trailer for NCTU. They're making a comeback with the three vocalists. They're doing something on station. I wish that they would. I don't know. They haven't done anything with 10 in a minute. Like I miss 10. He is probably like my second favorite in NCTU when they first came out. But I know that it's not like a definite like roster. I know that they're gonna have other people like coming through the group and stuff. And so introduce maybe someone new who's also a really good vocalist. I don't know. Um, but we have Jaehyun, we have Dooyoung, and we have Taeil doing this song. That's gonna be interesting. And that's probably that's probably gonna be it for this. I didn't really have that much to cover. I just wanted to connect with you guys at least once in the last couple of days because I know it's been a minute since I posted my last video. And I kind of just wanted to update and let you guys know what's going on. Um, Planning on, well, we'll see what happens this weekend. I wanted to do something else, but I didn't really know what to actually do as far as kind of like a non-music related video. I don't know. I was trying to keep the channel like completely music related, but I was having like some ideas in my head and I kind of wanted to see about them. I'll probably do another poll on Twitter and see what people think. Um, Last time I only got like 12 votes or something. It wasn't that many people because not that many people follow me, and the ones who do don't know me for YouTube, so they're like, "What's going on?" Like some of my friends who personally follow me on Twitter, they're like, "You post you're like a lot more active on Twitter than you used to be." I'm like, "Yeah, well, now I'm actually kind of doing stuff on social media." Um, but yeah, um, I watched. Let me see. So yeah, I'll end with what I was doing today as far as like TV goes because I did catch up on a couple of shows. Um, Caught up on Boruto today. I caught up on Lucifer. I don't know if anybody watches that. I honestly, well, a lot of people in my family have a problem with me watching that show because it's Lucifer and it's based on Lucifer, but it's honestly based on the mythos and it's also based on DC Comics version of Lucifer. So probably a lot of people didn't know that, but it is technically DC Comics. Um, there goes. Is it on Fox? It is on Fox. Gosh, Fox. Anyway, yeah. So I was catching up with that, and it was interesting, and it was the twist that I expected. For the well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, or if you really care. Um, the new lieutenant, he was actually the Sinner Man, and he's actually Cain. You know, Cain and Abel, the brothers. He's actually Cain, and yeah, I knew that he was crooked from the very first time that well, not the very first time, but the way that he acted, the way that he kind of just pushed them to get this other guy who was supposedly the Sinner Man. I was just like, no, he couldn't have been him. Um, so hopefully the next episode we'll find out more about that. Also, what else was I watching? Shoot, it must not been that important if I can't remember. um, darn it, now I can't remember. It's a shame. Um, God, that's really that's irritating because yeah, it must have not been that important. I was watching like all the Harry Potter movies this week. I think I'm on the Order of the Phoenix, which is probably one of my favorites. That one and Prisoner of Azkaban are my favorites for Harry Potter movies. Oh, okay. I'll say the first one too, just because it was an introduction to everything. The first movie was always good for most series, um, but I do like Order of the Phoenix and Prisoner of Azkaban. But my favorite books are actually Goblet of Fire and the Half Blood Prince. And the reason why I didn't really like the movie for the Half Blood Prince is because of the fact that like they really did not focus on a lot of the really key things that happened in it. The movie. There are just a lot of there was like some really key points in there that they really don't highlight. Some backstory that they don't highlight. It's mostly like the love story between Lavender and Ron and Hermione, that love triangle, that odd love triangle that really should have not even happened. Um, and then the randomness between Harry and Ginny, like that whole thing was so random, honestly. It was so random. In the movies, in the books, it was more apparent, but in the movies, it was just a mess. Um, so that yeah, my mom was like, "What?" It's like, when did this happen? I'm like, you gotta read the books to really understand. Jenny in the books is so much better than Jenny in the movies, to be honest. Like she has so much more to her. Like she's so much more of a go getter. In the movie, she's just like that side character that's random as hell. Like she doesn't even do as much as Hermione does. I'm just like in the books, she's so much more proactive and independent. But anyway, that's gonna be it. I'm done ranting about Harry Potter, my nerdy ass. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great night. This was just like a short little live for you guys, just to kind of hold you over until tomorrow. I'm selfish as hell. I'm just really, really tired. But anyway, yeah. So good night, guys. Take care.